Hey everybody, good morning, welcome back, or if you are new, my name is Mary and I live here in Canada with my husband and two kids ages 5 and 6. I make videos on simplifying motherhood and life through really easy organization and decluttering. Today I am bringing you with me as I organize and do like a reset, I guess, on my fridge and pantry. I just grabbed groceries from the grocery store. We just got home. I've got one of the kids home with me sick today, and I thought this is a good day for me to record sort of when I put everything away, sort of how I reset, how we have our fridge and pantry organized, and hopefully that kind of inspire you or give you some tips that might work in your house. So I'm going to put my hair up, make a coffee, and get at it. Guys, I am still drinking instant coffee. I love it. I can't stop. It's so handy. It's so easy. I just have it with milk and sugar. Sometimes I add like a little bit of something during special seasons, but otherwise it's just so convenient. Does anybody else drink instant coffees? Anybody else on this team? Please let me know. All right, I got my groceries here. I am pretty much convinced I am the last person under the age of 75 who goes to the actual store and shops the old-fashioned way with their little list at the grocery store. It feels like everybody is doing like online shopping, which I feel like I get it. Like it's so convenient, but I don't know. I love picking out my produce, which I think is part of it. And I also just, I don't know, like I like getting out. I don't know. It's just a habit that I guess I've gotten used to. And I get sick of using my phone, to be honest. I do not want another app. I don't want another thing that I have to stare at a screen for. And I think that's a big part of it. So anywho, this is our groceries. This is it for about 2 weeks. Like we do a top up halfway through. And this is a little bit less than normal because we have a couple of meals that I've like ordered through a food box, like a good, or what are they called? Like not fresh, something, you know what I mean, a food box. Anyway, right after this, I just quickly threw all of the frozen stuff like just into the freezer, and then I sorted the rest, like as you'll see as we go through fridge and pantry. So here is just a quick glance at what our fridge looks like today before I started. It's pretty bare, as you can see. This is what it normally looks like. We usually try to get it down pretty low. Okay, so my first thing is I pretty much always just go through, and if there's anything I need to toss, I get rid of it right away. I've shared before how honestly we throw out really, really little food just because we always kind of get it down to nothing, and we're just super mindful about using all of our leftovers up. But there's usually always like one or two things. So like here's a bagel, for example, that was from one of Beanie Rose's lunches, and I thought she didn't eat it, and I'm like, oh, I'll keep that and I'll have it for breakfast one day. And I'm like, I couldn't stomach it, so that one will toss. That was from a few days ago. And then does everybody always have like a little half-drank cup of milk in their fridge for my kid? And then there's just like a little bit of pasta beans. I will actually use all these up, so the rest of it I'm gonna leave. And then, I know I have this cream that expires. I think there's still like 5 days left on it, but we specifically bought it for like mashed potatoes we made, and we are not making them in the next 5 days. And I do not put this in my coffee. I'll use milk. I just like prefer it. So I know we won't use this up, so I'm gonna let that go. Yeah, there's a bunch of mushrooms. Again, it's usually stuff that we buy for a specific recipe that we don't use consistently. I like mushrooms, but no one else in the family really does, so it's hard for me to use them all up when I buy like a pack of them. So I'm gonna let those go. And the rest is just like apples, potatoes, and onions, which we'll definitely use up. So obviously starting off with my first sip of coffee, which is always the best. Right off the bat, I'm just tossing all that stuff. Honestly, I don't feel bad at all when I get rid of a bit of food because we get rid of so little. Like we do not buy stuff and consistently toss it out. Like I think just meal planning and stuff, we have just been so ruthless that we're pretty good at it. Okay, I want to show you that cute bowl. I just got it. I thrifted it. Isn't it so cute? I'll link it down below. Like I got it from the thrift company. It's like a local little shop. But anyway, I love it. And okay, so these are last week's apples, like that were left, and I want to eat them first. So I'm going to put them in the bowl and put them on the counter, and we know that we have to eat those first. Next, you can see I have pulled out both of the produce drawers. This, you'll see, is one of the best parts of getting down to almost nothing for groceries is how easy it is to clean out the fridge. I don't do this every week. I don't even do this once a month probably, but I don't know, whenever I'm in the mood. So often it'll be like if I'm doing a video, or it'll be if it's like before Christmas, or if like I'm off randomly and have time, I'll just pull the drawers out, rinse them out. It feels so good, and it is so easy to do because everything is basically empty. Like it's so fast to do. So that's definitely one of the perks of having less groceries in the fridge. These are definitely the moments where I wish I had one of those Dymo vacuums. Is it Dymo? You know, the really good vacuums. They're cordless and they have a million heads, and it's like they have little handles. Like I've used them in clients' houses millions of times, but I don't have them myself. But it would be so good to like have one. Just then every week I could just like quickly vacuum that out. And even for like underneath here, I could use it to vacuum bits out. I mean, it's fine. I would never actually buy it just for that. Maybe one day I will get one and enjoy it. For now, I use a dishcloth out of with dish soap. I rarely use like any kind of specific cleaning products. I kind of use whatever's we have, whatever's on hand. And I'm big into using like dish soap and just like some warm water. I love like when you're working in the kitchen, having a sink full of like soapy water. I don't know. It's so satisfying. My sister-in-law, I remember, mentioned that to me like a long time ago. And I remember thinking, yeah, that does feel good. And now now that I'm mindful of it, I'm like, just there's something about it. And you'll see too, like even this, I can just like this I do more regularly. Like I just wipe down each of those shelves, because it's so easy, and they'll usually have like one little spill in there or something. So it's a nice, easy thing, to do. Another thing that one day I would love to have is labels on my produce drawers. I've made them for clients before, and I can easily make them on our drawers, like with our Cricut, a little vinyl label. I think that would look super cute. I'm always hesitant though, because I don't like have a specific category for each drawer. So I'll put like kind of like more vegetable-y type items, and the other one is usually more like fruit items, and that's basically it. It's not very like strict, or I don't have very distinct categories. Anyway, maybe one day. Okay, so what you'll see I'm doing here is the number one thing I do is get rid of packaging. It makes the fridge look better. It makes me be able to see everything, find everything. It naturally makes me want to like use everything, cook with everything, and grab like items for snacks, or grab items for making lunches, or for making our dinners. You'll see I don't do any actual meal prep in this video, because it is a Friday. I'll usually do meal prep like on a Sunday before the start of the week, but even just doing this part of it, it's going to be all ready, so that meal prep is so easy and fast. Now, what I am doing is I'm washing all my produce. So all you saw is I just put in a bit of white vinegar in with our with water in the sink, and I put in, usually I do this with apples. If I have like berries, it's in one of those clamshells, I'll just shove the whole thing in the clamshell right in the sink. But today I'm just doing the nectarines and the apples, because that's what we have. I don't have any grapes. If I had grapes, I'd be taking them off as well. That's another helpful thing I normally do. But as you can see, just taking the peaches out, there's something about having them out of that container that A, they look way better, and B, I can see what we have, and I just like can easily grab them. And see, me going through those, I can see that there's one that's like half rotting on it where it came like that. So I know I'm going to use that one very first. I think I even ate it for lunch after I made this video, so I cut off the bad part. Whereas if I had left that in there, it would be rotten in like 2 days and be disgusting. Okay, probably the most controversial thing that I do is put tomatoes and potatoes in my fridge. I get this question constantly. I don't know, people get really wound up about it. I have no idea if it actually makes things last longer. I'm sure there's a lot of rules that say I'm not supposed to do that, but that's how I do it. I find it convenient. I like having them there. I don't know. I don't have another handy spot to keep them, so that is where they're going. And then again, like all my little nectarines and the tomatoes, I put them all into just pretty bowls so that I can see everything. Clear is always awesome so that I can see what we have. And you can see with the cilantro too, like in the little jar, the little green stuff, that's a little bit of cilantro I had to buy. So I just put a little water in the bottom, toss those in, and they should stay a little bit longer than normal. I also, even my milk, I take all of that out. I don't have, like I know a lot of people have like an actual holder for the milk bags. Maybe one day, but right now I don't find I need it too much. So I just kind of pile all the bags in there, but just taking them out of the bag makes it so much easier to grab when I have to like replace it, which feels like 10 times every single day. Okay, my door, because a lot of people ask, like, where's all your condiments? Where's your salad dressings? They're all in the door. I love the style of this fridge. Does anyone else have this fridge? I love the style of it. If I didn't have this, I think I would probably have, like, bins or something in the fridge for, like, condiments and, like, sauces and stuff like this, because this stuff would drive me probably crazy. Or a turntable, those sometimes work really well. Something, but anyway, they're all my doors and they work fine. And then that's where I put like all of our yogurts, our cottage cheese, like all of our cold meats, that kind of thing. They all live there in the door. It doesn't look cute, but it works really well. Even you can see, like, I love just taking off the stickers off of our produce. And then there's a few bananas that were kind of going, I could tell they were just like not the best anymore. So I just grabbed those, took the peels off, chopped them up, threw them in a jar, and they are going straight into the freezer. We'll use those for smoothies, or we'll use them, I think I might even be making banana muffins this weekend. So they're fine like this. I used to put bananas straight in the freezer with the peels, and it drove me crazy. They were disgusting when they thawed. But this way is way better, way easier. If you don't have a jar, like anything, a Ziploc would work or whatever. Next, guys, we are starting with a pantry. You can see this is our pantry This is like our before, but really it looks totally fine because we have such easy system set up. The bottom category you can see is grains, which is pasta and rices usually. Next is baking, self-explanatory. Next up you can see is our breakfast bin. Then we have spreads and snacks. And then the top is our canned goods. So it's all really simple. We've set this up a few years ago, and it works so well. It's so organized. Anywho, but today I decided, like I said, I had some extra time. So, oh my goodness, look how dirty this bin is. It was actually worse in person, probably. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna pull everything out. It's a good day to like do a quick reset. I threw out a few things, and I washed every single one of those white bins. So you can see I kind of like went through like that. That's that fake peanut butter that you have to use for school. Oh, look at that one. Gross. Okay. So yeah, I threw out like some really old crackers, stuff like that. I got rid of a few things. Otherwise, I just took it out so I could quickly do a wash before I put our new groceries in. So you can see with the bins, I put all of the small items, like anything small or that needs to be contained, go in the bins. And then you can see kind of in behind each like category, like for baking, for example, I have really large items. Like I have a big thing of sugar and a big one for flour, and those both live like in behind. And same with, you can see like I have a huge thing of peanut butter for under snacks and spreads, and I put that just in behind the bin because it's too big for the bin. So so I just kind of quickly wipe down those counters as well. You can see how it looks without all the bins and just like the few little big things that are in the back. I mean, ideally you never want anything in behind a bin, but it's kind of hard to do when this is the only pantry. So, but it doesn't bother me at all. It works really well. It functions 100%. So like I said, I went ahead and I cleaned and scrubbed all these. It felt so good. This was even more satisfying than the fridge, I think, because I haven't done it in so long. They were so sticky, all the stuff that we have in there. So again, quickly, and again, not having a lot of groceries and having everything organized makes this so much easier, guys. So much easier. Like, just maintaining things. And honestly, I could have probably gone like another 5 years without cleaning these out, and it would have worked fine because everything is just organized and has a home. And here it is without everything in it. I just tossed everything back in where they go, and then I'm grabbing one at a time, put it on the counter, and put everything that belongs in it back in. You can see this one, like I said, it's pasta and rice and croutons I put in there too as a grain. And then I had 2 bags, so I just combined, like there was a few in that smaller one, combined them into one, and put them right into that bin, and we were all set. I also, you'll see I do it a bit later, but I forgot to put breadcrumbs in. That usually lives in there as well. And then baking, pretty self-explanatory, all the little bits. The jar had like a cookie mix that I had bought. Sometimes when I buy chocolate chips, if they're for snacking, then I'll put them like in a cute jar, but I usually don't decant them because I usually, if they're for baking, I'm making them like that day. Here's our coffee too. Like I do decant my coffee because, again, like we use that every single day. Like I pull that jar out almost twice a day every day. So I like am happy to have that easy and something small that I can manage. Here I combine like raisins, nuts, and like I think some pumpkin seeds, and I'll just use that as a little combination that I'll put on oatmeal. So I remembered, I think here, yeah, I got a bunch of little oatmeal packets. Haven't bought these before for the kids. However, I got them like a couple, like maybe a month ago, and they loved them. So I'm like, I'm gonna try them again. So yeah, so I had just put all of those in there, and so that they're easy to grab, and got rid of the box. Snacks and spreads, as you can see, is one of our like probably most used bins. So you'll see that I have it probably, I would say, in like the most accessible shelf, like the one that's easiest to grab. And then I had a few smaller snacks. Like we don't buy a ton of packaged snacks for the kids, but we had these little, what are those, fruit to goes, fruit by the foots, that kind of stuff. So I just got a jar, didn't put a lid on it, and just shoved them in, so at least it contained them a little bit within the white basket. And then this one is canned goods. So really this is the main stuff that I use all the time is tuna or like canned fruit for the kids' lunches, and then any back stock. So you'll see like have barbecue sauce, salsa. I think I put like a mayo. Oh yeah, there's like spaghetti sauce, an extra mayonnaise for when ours runs out. And then that lives right there. You can see that a ton of our snacks are already in little glass jars, and that's because I buy so many of them at like the bulk food store, and we take our own jars in. So that reduces a ton of packaging, and all of the jars are just jars that I've had. I didn't pay for them. They were just left over from something. I take them all in. It saves so much packaging, good for the environment, and it keeps things organized. I don't have to deal with any packaging, less recycling. When I get home, I just take the jars out of the bag and shove them in there, and it's easy to keep track of everything. Okay, I did 2 other little tiny kind of chores. I refilled our dish soap, sorry. You can see that's the kind I use. Link where I get it from. I get it from like a local shop, and I'll link them below. But it's just, I am so obsessed with this. I probably talked about it before, but I use dish soap in one of these glass with the pumps, and it just looks so pretty on the top. I can keep it out on the counter all times. It looks so cute, and it's so handy. I love pumping soap into. I don't know why I love it, but I just quickly refill this. It takes 2 seconds, and it just, again, is a kind of a nice reset to start the weekend or week. And then the other thing I did was dealt with this freezer. Oh my gosh, guys. I have no set system for the freezer. I don't worry too much about it being extra cute. The freezer to me is 1000% function. I know exactly what's in there because I only buy what is on our meal plan, and then I want to just make sure it's accessible. So again, I got rid of some packaging I could get rid of. I kind of put stuff in order of what we're going to eat it, so I know, what nights we're having certain types of meat. I know when we're eating those pizzas, so like I'll put those accessible because we ate them tonight, shortly after I made this video. So I know that, and I kind of put it in that order and make it just so I can at least grab, we keep all of our bread in our freezer, so I want to be able to access that if I'm making toast for the kids, that sort of thing. And that's it, guys. We're completely reset. The kitchen is ready. We have our bowls of fruit. We have our pantry ready, restocked. clean. It feels so fresh, so satisfying. We have everything in there, and you can see, I will show you the after of the fridge as well, which like not only functions, but it looks really pretty. It's going to make the whole weekend super. So when on Sunday, like I mentioned, I'm going to go and do some meal prep. It's going to make it so easy, and it'll make our whole week just run so much smoother. It's just so darn satisfying and so much less food waste. Like, I can't get over it, guys. It really, really, really does work. So I hope that kind of has inspired you. I hope it gave you maybe some ideas that might work in your fridge or your pantry. But I always do find that the weekend is a really good time to reset and get everything organized. So thank you so much for watching as always, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye, guys.